Hello dear viewers and welcome back to our channel. Imagine a radiant July afternoon in the leafy gardens behind Kensington Palace. The crowd is humming in that polite, expectant way only a royal audience can. Hushed chatter, camera shutters testing their clicks, the floral scent of neatly groomed borders floating on a warm breeze. Nobody knows that within minutes the monarchy itself is about to pivot. Beside the Poets' Corner Memorial, Prince William steps forward with Princess Catherine at his side, Prince George standing tall, and little Princess Charlotte gripping her mother's hand with the practiced poise of someone twice her age. Reporters are waiting for a charity plug, a feel-good anecdote, perhaps a shy wave from Charlotte. Instead, they are about to watch the crown start rewriting its own future in real time. William begins by honoring his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, recalling her dignified silence and unshakable sense of duty. A lump rises in his throat, the crowd leans forward, and then he drops the sentence that will ricochet across every front page on earth. My daughter, Princess Charlotte, will begin official duties as a representative of the crown. A hush, sharp as shattering glass, falls over the lawn. You can almost hear the nation grasping for breath. Palace aides exchange wide-eyed looks, royal correspondents fumble phones, even seasoned photographers freeze for half a heartbeat. 8-year-old Charlotte takes a single step forward, shoulders square, chin high. Catherine rests a calming hand on George's shoulder, family unity forged under 1,000 flashbulbs. But something else happens in that same instant, in the places the lenses can't quite reach. A tremor ripples through the very hierarchy of the House of Windsor. Far away in a quiet royal study, Camilla, Queen Consort, reportedly slams a briefing folder shut. At Highgrove, King Charles, already wrung out by chemotherapy's brutal side effects, sinks deeper into an armchair, eyes tired but resigned. In Montecito, Prince Harry watches the newsfeed scroll, eyebrows knitted in surprise. Lines are being redrawn, not with public fanfare but with familial resolve, and none of this was on the official schedule. How did we arrive at this thunderclap moment? It starts, ironically, with silence, the silence between two brothers. Since the publication of Harry's memoir Spare its bruising chapters on sibling rivalry, palace politics, and Catherine's tears, the rift between William and Harry has gone from whispered rumor to painful public fact. Harry's television confessionals and podcast monologues collided with William's ironclad refusal to feed the circus. The crown suddenly felt more soap opera than institution. At the same time, King Charles's own reign has struggled for liftoff. Just months after the coronation glitter settled, news of his cancer treatment leaked. Speaking engagements were scaled back, public energy waxed and waned, and photographs of Charles gripping a carved walking stick or sporting a bloodshot eye sparked fresh speculation. Then came the bombshell rumor. The king paused chemotherapy and turned to the controversial Jerson therapy, daily juices, coffee enemas, shaking confidence inside medical advisory circles. For a man who waited 7 decades to inherit the throne, the clock suddenly felt unfairly accelerated. Yet where one royal schedule shrank, another swelled. William and Catherine's calendar glowed bright, Earthshot summits, children's cancer ward visits, mental health roundtables, early years initiatives. Crowds roared. Polls spiked, 78% favorability for William, 80% for Catherine. Columnists spoke of a soft regency, the heirs acting as lead performers while the king withdrew backstage. Whispers in Commonwealth corridors suggested diplomats were already routing sensitive correspondence through Kensington rather than Clarence House. And then there is Charlotte, sharp-eyed, charismatic, instinctively camera-ready. Catherine has quietly invited her into media prep rooms, teaching her how to greet a charity patron and speak into a fuzzy boom mic, years earlier than George ever practiced the same drills. Charlotte's confident curtsy at Queen Elizabeth's funeral, her cheeky correction of George at Wimbledon, "You should bow," too, her sweet grip on Catherine's handbag at Sandringham, each moment has convinced Britain she is cut from the same bright cloth as Diana, the same unflappable silk as Elizabeth. Camilla's simmering anxiety. For Camilla, this unstoppable Charlotte arc is deeply unsettling. 4 decades she grafted through scandal, vilification, and icy headlines to secure public forgiveness and the title of Queen Consort. At 76, she had hoped the remainder of her royal life might be a calming harvest, opening hospices, reading to rescue dogs, supporting survivors of domestic violence. Suddenly her horizon is eclipsed by the combined star power of a modern princess trio, Catherine, Charlotte, and, on occasional satellite video calls, Meghan. When advisors proposed that Camilla join a high-profile Commonwealth tour to blunt William's surge, scheduling conflicts, political protests, and Charles's health issues torpedoed the plan. Weeks later, rumors whispered that she confronted Charles behind closed doors. Stop this fast-track Charlotte business or risk unbalancing the throne. Charles's answer, according to a senior footman? Let it happen. It's already begun. Catherine, the silent architect. Meanwhile, Catherine plays the long game with lethal precision. She does not counter Camilla's misgivings in public. In private, she masterminds a matrix of polling, focus group testing, strategic photo ops, and philanthropic deep dives. She ensures every new engagement highlights one of three pillars: early childhood, mental health, or environment, so Brand Wales carries clarity. She arranges for Charlotte to launch her royal training wheels at children's literacy events and environmental clean UPS, non-controversial, camera-friendly, deeply resonant with Gen Z consciousness. She schedules George's next spotlight carefully, so as not to eclipse his sister nor trigger stories of sibling rivalry. She glides, smiles, curtsies, and builds an unassailable edifice of goodwill around her family. Charles and the quiet abdication rumor. Inside palace walls, aides note a subtle relabeling of briefing folders. Her Royal Highness the Prince of Wales lead adorning projects once destined for the King's personal desk. A document titled Strategic Transition 2026-2030 reportedly proposes delegated authority for investitures, Privy Council meetings, and state openings of Parliament, just in case. While no one utters the word abdication, the phrase phased handover keeps appearing in hush-hush memos. After all, even Queen Elizabeth prioritized continuity above pride. Charles watched her gradually edge him into center stage for years. Perhaps he will do the same for William, only faster. Public reaction. Thunder followed by applause. When William's Kensington speech hits social media, the first wave is disbelief. Charlotte. Official duties at 8. The second wave is awe. Of course Charlotte. She's poised, she's relatable, she's half Diana, half Kate. By nightfall, Princess Charlotte rises trends worldwide. TikTok edits splice Charlotte's playful Platinum Jubilee antics beside Elizabeth's stoic childhood broadcasts during World War II, painting an epic lineage of duty with sparkle. Pollsters wake to staggering numbers. 84% of Britons surveyed support Charlotte starting public service in moderation. 69% say William now feels like the acting leader of the family. Commonwealth leaders issue warm statements. Canadian newspapers run front-page headlines, Charlotte of Cambridge to champion literacy. Australian talk shows marvel at the monarchy's youthful facelift. In Jamaica, a popular radio host declares, if this princess learns patois greetings and shows up on a beach clean, it'll sway heart. The monarchy, which 2 years ago seemed one funeral away from existential crisis, suddenly feels spring-loaded with new relevance. Behind the scenes, the Windsor chessboard resets. Team Kensington hires 2 extra press secretaries and a child development specialist to craft Charlotte's debut itinerary. Team Clarence House huddles to repackage Charles's upcoming garden party season as opening the door for future generations. Camilla retreats to Ray Mill to plot a new Queen's Compassion campaign, hoping to share headlines. Rumors swirl that Harry, sensing winds shifting, is quietly open to attending Charlotte's first overseas charity visit if invited, an image that could melt glacier of bad blood, or explode into fresh drama if mishandled. Security chiefs must recalculate protection protocols for another minor royal stepping into the limelight. Royal collection archivists dust off tiaras suitable for a preteen princess, no diamonds yet, perhaps pearls. Fashion editors speculate which sustainable children's label will become Charlotte's version of Catherine's replicate effect. The bigger picture. Strip away the pageantry and this story is about succession strategy, brand management, and intergenerational power. Charles may still sign state documents, but moral authority is slipping across the courtyard. Camilla's influence, while real, is overshadowed by Catherine's effortless relatability. George remains heir, but Charlotte symbolically democratizes royal duty for a new century, a girl standing shoulder to shoulder with her brother from the very beginning. And yet, And yet, monarchy endures by